This last video is about the practices that you could adopt for yourself in your life and to start building yourself as a leader. And these are all practices that should really support you. So some of those I've already taught you in some of the other modules, and some of these might be new, but I will walk you through them one by one in the next couple minutes. So the first practice, and you can open your worksheet and check whatever speaks to you and whatever you want to adopt. So the first one should be so a no-brainer for you, and it's a mental rehearsal 6-step exercise. And I recommend you do this every single day, at least for one block or pattern. The second one is the 4 mantras visualization around time, money, love, and approval. And those are the things you created earlier in this module and in this worksheet. Okay, so those are the 4 mantras that you created to create abundance around these things. And I do these at least every other day. And it takes really just 5 minutes of you saying those things to yourself. You can say them out loud. You can turn on a nice meditation music. You can say them in your head, and the mental chatter will start. There will be some thoughts you will have about it. Some ways you will want to argue with yourself about it because you're not used to telling yourself that you're already loved and approved and you're already successful and you have lots of money and you have more coming in your way and things like that. Okay. The next one is the invented self-visualization, who you are for yourself in the world. And I like to do this at least a few times a week as well, because it really only takes a minute or two, but it sets intention for who you want to be for yourself that day. The next one, planning the day the night before. It's very important. Sets intentions for your day, and you should be really doing that every day. Using the Pomodoro technique for work, and that is the technique that I spoke about in the last video, where you have your focus sessions and you focus for whatever time works for you, 20 minutes, 50 minutes, hour and a half, and then you take a break and then you do it again. Listening to your inspirational podcasts and audiobooks. Here's the thing, learning is so important. It will keep you excited to keep moving your business forward. And it's not just watching these videos and doing my courses, but it's other stuff too. I read probably, a few audiobooks. Well, I should say listen, not read, every week because, well, I don't have time to read. I don't have time to sit down with a book, but I definitely have time to listen to books every time I drive, when I'm cleaning my house, when I'm organizing, when I'm doing my laundry, when I'm waiting for somebody somewhere. I'm always listening to an audiobook and thinking and brainstorming, what could I improve in my business? What could I bring into my programs? What could I adopt for my life? What new practices could work for me? And also listening to other people's stories can be really inspirational. It can be really, really good for you to give you the extra energy boost. So I do that on a regular basis. I probably listen to at least hour to 2 hours of audio every day whenever I have a downtime. It's also when I hike. It's really good to listen to audiobooks if you can do that and hike, because it's like you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone, and you have a reason to go for a hike. It's really nice. Time blocking system is what we talked about in one of the last videos. Can work really, really well, and it doesn't work for some people. Some people just like to get in a zone and play it by ear, and it really works for them and it makes them productive. So it's for you to decide what will really inspire you and what will work for you. Writing your gratitudes. It's so important to set a little bit of a positive mindset, and I like to do that every night. It takes me about 2 minutes, maybe 3, if I really want to take it on. Meditation. There's so many different meditation types, guided meditations, or just simply breathing. It's everybody has a different style that they like to have, so I'm not going to tell you how to do it. It's really up to you if this is something that you want to adopt, but I'll tell you that it works well for a lot of people. For myself, instead of meditating, I like to journal and look what happened that day and what thoughts came up rather than just sitting and breathing. But that is me. Everybody has a different practice. Prayer, other spiritual practice. I don't pray, but it works well for a lot of other people. So check this here. If that's something that speaks to you, spending time with friends is, it's important to be connected to people you care about. That's why I included it here. Play, dance, and fun. Just think what speaks to you. What's going to make you relax and let go? Connecting with family, same thing. Exercise. How much are you going to exercise? And if you did the time blocking exercise, you might have a good sense of how much you actually have time for, and where you're willing to sacrifice time to put in more exercise of whatever you need to do. Finding an accountability buddy. Is that important to you? Does that sound like a good plan? Go for it. And then you have some room for other. What other things have you been doing that you want to continue doing that really are important to you? And so go through that and think about it. And there's so many resources out there on all the different practices, spiritual or non-spiritual, that you could be doing. And I'm not a spiritual teacher, so I can't really tell you what works and how to do it. I can just tell you what really works for me, okay? And here's the last thing. I want you to decide what tools you want to adopt for planning if you haven't yet. What are you going to do to simplify your life and your planning and your organizing and your schedule? And we went in the last video, we went over some of the ones I use. And again, this is your thing. And there's no wrong way to go with this. It's really works for you. Okay, so that, my dears, that concludes Module 3. It was really exciting. Is that we have now set up who you want to be for yourself and your life. We created a vision for your business, and we set up, in this last module, we set up your performance tools and systems. So we have a baseline for who you are as the CEO of your future dream business. I don't mean to say future business because a lot of you already have a successful business. But your dream business is where you're moving to, if that makes sense. And now, in the next few modules, we're going to dive right in to start building your systems. And in the next module, we're going to focus on your messaging strategy. So we're going to look at who's your ideal customer. What are they dealing with? What are the mistakes they're making? Who are they? What is their fears? What do they really want? We're going to get that really crystal clear and build your messaging strategy around that and position your brand as the guide that helps them. And then in the weeks after, week 5, and 6, we're going to build your system for marketing. And I want you to think the next 3 weeks is going to be a little bit more work. And I want you to start planning for that and allocate a little bit extra time, especially in weeks 5 and 6, if you're not super great with the technology, because it's going to take some tech setup. So just think about the next 3 weeks and how you can make this happen, and talk to me the next time we speak on our coaching call. If you have anything that could get in the way of that, let's make arrangements. Maybe you might need an extra week for the next module, whatever it is. Or, shoot me an email and say, hey, Eva, I need, a couple weeks to do the messaging module. Whatever it is. So you make sure that you're not overwhelmed and you're putting in enough time to really be strategic about these things and really be confident that it all is finished and looks great before we move to the next set of modules. Okay, so I'm really, really excited to work with you on the marketing piece in the next 3 weeks. It's going to be really, really exciting and fun. This is the part that I love. We actually get to start putting systems in place so you can be generating customers and you can automate that system. So it's very exciting. And don't forget to when you complete this whole worksheet, submit it to me, and I really want to see what you're committing to. And if you have coaching calls, depending on your package level, if you have coaching calls set up with me, let's go over this, because I want you to share with me what you're up to and all the tools and practices you're adopting. So I look forward to continue working with you, and I will see you in the next module or on our